Boy, it sure is true what they say. There just ain't no party like a Red 5 party. Hey, what's up, nerds? A little party music. Why not? Why not? I hope you have your drink. I hope you have your snacks because tonight we are talking about every one of the announcements and reveals that happened this past weekend at D23 in, that California place that the rest of us Midwesterners are like, those people are nuts. I'm not going out there. But couple announcements. First and foremost, turn that down a little bit because it's just making me want to dance. And I was already getting down to some Billy Ocean and Tina Turner, so that vibe is still very much vibing in me. First and foremost, this is the second to last live stream I will be doing for a while. There's one more next week, but then I will be out for a while because, as some of you know, I am having a pretty big surgery next week. Pardon me. I'm having a pretty big surgery next week. They're basically taking my left leg apart and putting it back together with fun new parts. So, oh, my other red light fell. How will I survive? So, obviously, that's going to be painful, and I'm going to need to recover for a while. So, I won't be doing this for a little bit. Also, fun stuff. Dun da da da. But I somehow inexplicably, that's the word, inexplicably, you know what? We're just going to say surprisingly, I've landed a sponsor, and not just any sponsor, but a super, super cool sponsor from my hometown, nay, my home neighborhood, and that is Apotheosis Comics and Lounge in St. Louis. Like, hot dog. I got a comic store in my home neighborhood. Like, how dope is that? That's like the coolest thing ever for me. They're off South Grand. It's like right down the street from where I used to live. And I thought I already put this information, so I'm going to put it in really, really quick because, wow, apotheosis is difficult to spell. It is. Anywho, so if you need comic accessories, why am I having so much trouble talking tonight? I do it so much. You would think I'd be an expert. But if you need new comic-like accessories, please check out shopapotheosis.com/comics and use the code comics and to get 10% off your entire purchase. It's a pretty sweet deal. It supports a small local business and it supports the channel. How awesome is that? But yeah, I'm very, very excited that the coolest comic shop in my old neighborhood, my hometown, reached out to me today and was like, hey, we think you're a bit of all right. You're not too obnoxious. And we would like to join hands in friendship. So welcome to the Nerdling Army, Apotheosis Comics and Lounge. Very excited. And they will actually be on the show next week. They're going to be on the live stream for the last live stream for some time. We're going to talk some comic books. We're going to talk some stuff. So that's going to be a really good time. I'm very, very, very excited for that. But we're not here to talk shop comics and apotheosis. And that actually means, I think that means like becoming God, doesn't it? Apotheosis means like you transcend your humanity and you become God. So you can become a god of comics by going to that link I gave you. But we are here to talk about D23 and all those announcements. So make sure you hit that like button, smash the subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more nerdy goodness. So without further ado, let's bring on my friends. First, We have Ro, who's getting it to my funky jams, my sweet funky jams.
Sup?
Sup? How are you?
Fantastic. Looking forward to talking a little D23 here on the Scarif Scuttlebutt. I mean, the Comics and channel. How are you, Danny?
Hey, how are you? I already said that. That's fine. It's fine. You know, I'm not good at talking anymore, which is surprising.
It is very surprising.
I do have, I'm going to have to turn the music off because I did make a promise, though Brad is not aware of this promise, but for some reason, this has kind of been stuck in my head for some time. And every time I see him in his Twitter handle, which is I'm Just Brad,
is probably his like 7th account.
The song pops in my head. I'm just Brad, and that's not bad. That's all. It's the only lyrics I have so far. So it's the I'm Just Ken song. It's I'm Just Ken, and I'm doing fine or whatever. But your handle is I'm Just Brad. So then I just started singing along in my head to I'm Just Ken, but it's I'm Just Brad, and that's not bad.
Okay. We need some Lionel Richie. We need to get some Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, not that one. The Fiesta.
Ooh, what a feeling. Because I'm dancing on the sea.
I got my Grogu Hawaiian shirt on.
Very nice.
Because you're a civilian now.
Yes, I'm free.
Welcome to civilian life where you have to get your own paint and air filters.
People don't treat me all special. Stupid.
No one comes and mows your lawn for your wife while you're deployed.
Well, we've been in an apartment for the last couple of years, so we don't have to worry about that anyway.
Wow, I didn't know they did that.
Oh, dude, when my first husband was deployed, we were living on post at Fort Hood. Someone tried to complain to me. Housing tried to complain that my lawn was too high. Well, I had 3 kids and 1 leg, and my husband was gone. So I went and talked to his chain of command, like, I don't know what you do. I've never mowed a lawn a day in my life. They're like, stop. That's what rear D's for. So they went and got rear detachment, started mowing my lawn, and they went and they ripped housing a new one. They're like, don't you bother that woman again. Her husband's deployed. So it was very sweet. But you didn't have to pay. You don't pay your electric. You don't pay any rent, no utilities, no rent. And you can get your lawn mowed if there's an issue. And if you need new air conditioning filters or paint for your house, outlet, anything like that, you just go down to the supply office, give them your sponsor social, and they're like, here you go. Here's your stuff. So when I went from being an Army wife for 15 years, like my entire adult life, and then I became a civilian, like I entered civilian life, I was like, what do you mean I got to pay rent every month? What is that? What? Electric doesn't come with it? Why? It was quite shocking. Quite shocking.
For the low price of being deployed all year.
It's the least we can do.
Hey, I enjoyed that part.
Hey, I do apologize. My wife told me I had to go unbuttoned on this shirt. So
so
let it loose.
We have discussed, Brad, that people will pay you to put it back on.
I know. It's my OnlyFans.
So if you would like to check out more of Brad's open, unbuttoned shirt.
I'm just Brad's chest hair.
I'm just Brad. I'm just Brad. That's not bad. Check out the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Pods, like anywhere you hear podcasts.
It's true.
Or listen to your podcast. You can find them there. They're all right. They're not bad. They're Bro and Brad, and that's not bad.
There you go. New t-shirt.
Let's say hi to the chat. Like they're already pretty active. They're already pretty active. That's crazy.
Very, very
it's
beautiful.
The chest
group.
hair. Hello.
You have chest hair? I didn't see it.
Whoa! It contrasts with the.
It's.
Talk to the chat. Talk to the chat.
So we have Subtle Deviancy, who said he wasn't coming because I sold out. Hi, Hi, I'm subtle. I like long walks on the beach, sunsets, holding hands while watching Frozen, dogs with bows in their fur, and touching pictures of Rosebud. Oh, you didn't type that. You were really just thinking that. He really likes talking about bread and Rosebud a lot. And we
I have a question. I have a quick question for Subtle, and it has to do with this week's Scare of Scuttlebutt podcast. And you can just type in yes or no, Subtle. Are you Tobias? That's all I'm going to say.
That's like doxing. You can't do that.
No. This is not it has nothing to do with
Okay.
doxing.
Okay, so that I know that's not his name. I know his name. We have our mini wrench girl, Nicole, who was unable to join us tonight. And I'm not sad because I totally understand. I absolutely understand. And I love her to death. She is my sister. So we're fine with this. She is ready to wrench some people if absolutely necessary. So thank you. Thank you, Nicole. St. Louis thought I'm actually I'm only an honorary Canadian, but I do have my honorary Canadianness that was actually given to me by Sir Charles of Conversations. So deal with that. Oh, the Scare of Scuttlebutt podcast. What? And we have Dreaming Tabitha. Hello there, General Kenobi. And Red 5 Tavern. Surely not. Those
That'd
guys
be
are
me.
butt faces, right?
Yeah, screw those guys.
Screw those guys.
I'm going home. Okay, and Megan. We have Megan Rickard and Skywalker Academy. Hello.
Good
Penny,
people.
what's up, Penny?
Good people all around.
Absolutely. We've got an awesome chat tonight. Very, very, very excited. Okay.
It's a lot of fun when Megan shows up.
Yes, it is. It really is. Okay. So I have some beef with D23 this year.
All right.
Because let's be honest, they really didn't announce chat. Like there was like two things, and it was The Incredibles 3, I think. It was really just Pixar stuff that got an animated
and it was
stuff.
like 90% of the stuff we already knew.
Yeah. It was also they revealed things. They revealed a lot of things, but they didn't announce anything other than Incredibles 3. And I thought that was super lame, super weird. Let me pull up the Incredibles reveal. And they have been wrenching the YouTubers like crazy over this stuff. I mean, we're just doing our jobs. We're talking about the stuff that you're announcing, and we're getting bombarded with copyright infringement and everything. It doesn't make sense to me because we're reporting on you. We're sharing your information. Like, nobody thinks I made personally an entire reel of Incredibles 3 and recorded people sitting in an audience watching it. Nobody thinks that. So I don't know why you think I think that I could get away with that, but Disney totally does. So that's super lame. And stupid thing. My computer has been running a little slow, and I ran all kinds of stuff to fix it. But again, the only thing I really saw of note that was like a brand new announcement that we hadn't heard about was Incredibles 3. And I thought that was really, really weird.
I thought they announced that like years ago. Haven't they been talking about Incredibles 3 for a long time? Or did I just dream that?
It was a speculation.
Yeah, I think it was speculation because I'd never heard about it until I saw it. Now I really wanted to show the reel and I just can't find it. I thought I had everything pulled up and ready to go, but they had this really cool thing that they showed like Incredibles 1, and then the eye, the logo for it kind of split to a 2 with 1 dot, and then it moved to 3, and everyone went, yay! So that definitely wasn't something they had been really talking about. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're going to use the one movie we're actually going to reveal is going to be Incredibles 3. Thoughts, Brad? What do you think about Incredibles 3?
Well, we all know the third movie in any trilogy is always the best, right? I don't know. I love the first two. I think the first two are great. If they can keep that magic that they had with the first couple and just keep it lighthearted, I think it'll be fun for the family.
Yeah, Ro, what do you think?
I've never seen an Incredibles movie.
What? You're cracking a little bit.
Never got a chance to.
Well, the next time you have shit to say about anyone else never seeing a movie before,
and I see a lot of it.
Oops.
You know what? I'll do my Incredibles first watch reaction video.
We have to have a really good. We have to have a really good thumbnail. Like,
yeah.
I can't find. Okay, there it is. There's the private chat.
You're gonna freeze that screen. I know you are, and you're gonna make a thumbnail of it. I know you're gonna do it.
Dream and Tabitha's never seen Incredibles either, so I don't feel it.
Tabitha, you got to watch The Incredibles. They're really great, and I think The Incredibles is a really great metaphor for the family. Like the mom is very stretchy. She has like Plastic Man abilities or Mr. Fantastic abilities. And to me, that's showing how extremely flexible moms have to be, because she's also a stay-at-home mom. She's got to be like 3 places at once doing 3 things. So being able to stretch from the kitchen or from the living room to another room to grab a kid and keep them from jumping into a hot vat of lava or something is super handy. The daughter is a preteen, and her ability is she can turn invisible. So it's very Shrinking Violet. I just want to disappear. I can't believe everyone saw that my socks didn't match the vibe of the week. So I'm just so embarrassed. I just wish I was invisible. So that's kind of her thing. The son, super fast, runs all over the place. I had sons. I'm here to tell you, accurate. They're always going 90 miles an hour, and you can never catch them in time before they destroy something or hurt themselves. My son, Kessler. The dad has super strength, and he's the one who works, brings home the bacon. So dad's super strong, broad shoulders to carry all that weight on. So I felt that it was always a really, really nice metaphor for the family dynamic, and how sometimes all of those great benefits for those individual people can sometimes clash, but then at other times they generally work really well together to keep the household running and keep the family tight. So that's just my weird way of looking at The Incredibles.
Yeah, and like Ro and I have talked about it on the Scuttlebutt, like most of the quality material these days is animated. I know Tabitha was making a joke about it in the chat, but there's so much good animated stuff. This Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, all these, like there's
Toy Story 5.
They're doing Toy Story 5. That's another thing they announced out of Pixar, and I'm like, why are they still making those movies? Like, do you really have no other original ideas? Nothing else that you can come up with? You're just going to keep making
They're going to be like the Vin Diesel family movies.
Fast and the Furious.
Fast and the Furious, yeah. Toy Story 12.
Those movies started coming out when I was like 16, I think. And my family rented it from Blockbuster.
Oh.
And I had come back from a hot date with my boyfriend at Pizza Hut and I had stuffed crust pizza for the first time, but I had ate it after I'd gotten over this horrible illness and had been subjected to a battery of antibiotics. So what happened
Very
when
romantic.
it's so romantic, because after I ate that greasy stuffed crust, probably not well prepared pizza, I got a violent GI infection, had a fever of 105, and my family's like, let's watch a movie about talking toys. So I hallucinated and was like, my brain is frying watching this movie, and now I can't watch them because that's what I think of. Why is that the story I tell? Because that's what happens, and I'm honest. I can't watch Toy Story because it reminds me of a violent GI tract infection.
That's funny.
Uh,
Memories are a powerful thing.
they are, but maybe that's just because that's my memory of the very first time I ever saw it. Maybe that's why I'm so confused that they keep making these movies. I'm not that impressed by the Toy Story movies that I think we need to make them ad infinitum. Like, I would watch another one of what was that movie where it was the dad had passed away and it was like Dungeons and Dragons type world, and the dad had passed away and they were going on this quest, but it was like,
That's a good one.
yeah, I can't remember the name of it at all. It's such a good one, but I would watch
that's like the ultimate Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah. It's like they're all Dungeons and Dragons characters, but they're living in suburban America now. It's like in the future, and they're all like normal lives, but they're still Dungeons and Dragons creatures. And the dad had died when the youngest brother was born. So he always wanted to meet him. So he finds this quest, but he's only able to bring half of his dad back. So it's like his feet and his legs because he messes it up. And they got to go and find a way to bring back the rest of him. Yeah, Onward. That's the name of it. Oh, so good. And I don't want to spoil the rest for you because the ending is really, really touching.
Oh, man,
really
it got me misty. It got me misty.
Yeah, I cried. I did. I totally did. And I would watch a sequel of that. Like, what the hell? That's a great film, but let's make more Toy Story movies because that's not been done yet.
Cash grab. Cash grab.
Yeah, that's all that it is.
We can't really say that because then, we'd have nothing to talk about. We're talking about recycled material from 1977 still.
Right?
I mean,
there goes our podcast.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. See, can't watch because of how emotional it is, but it's so good. It's just so good. And it really makes you take a look at the people in your life and how you see them and how they've benefited you.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that ending. I was like,
yeah, I wasn't either, especially since, I lost a little brother to me, it was too early. I was in my 20s and he's my babe, or no, I was 30. He's my little brother. He was in his 20s. And, they're not supposed to leave before you. And you always wonder what would things be like. And then I watch Onward. I'm like, I can't. So,
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yes, you should absolutely watch it. Now, D23 had a bunch of cool things going on. There were a lot of really neat displays and stuff that you could go through and check out. And from all the ones I saw, the TVA experience was my favorite. Turn that down because you don't really need the volume. But you get to walk through the TVA. And it's in a hockey arena, from what I know. So you couldn't really, I think it would maybe take you out a little bit because there's no actual roof you can see over the tops of the walls. But it was still pretty cool. Yeah, you get some actual costumes from the movies, actual props that it looks like you're looking through time windows.
Uh-huh.
And it's just super cool. Like you walk through the whole TVA. There's actually even an interactive Rocket Raccoon. Like you look through this one time window and you can talk to, there's Daredevil Born Again. How cool is that?
Very cool. I'm gonna have to make one of those doorways in my room here.
Oh yeah. There's Rocket. Let me see if I can turn it up.
I don't go to where you are and just come straight at you and aim things at you. I know, well, now look at this. Suddenly everyone's here. I feel like I'm in front of a group of ravagers. You, down in front, yeah. Who said you were in charge here? Right? You're the leader of this group.
Choking on my own spit. Ignore me. So that's Agatha all along. And they are.
Are you good over there?
No, I
Nice
choked on my own spit.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that started happening after I hit 40. Like, I forgot how to swallow my own spit for some reason.
It happens.
So I'm just claiming that it's middle age.
My 10-month-old does the same thing. It's fine. It's any age.
But this is all the Agatha all along. And if you look or listen, they are singing the Witch's Road song. In this song, they actually, the whole cast performed it at the Agatha panel. So, but this is pretty much the end of it.
You know, they could have had an acolyte walk through where all the creepy ass witches do their chanting.
Yeah, repairs, OB's office.
Nice.
Where Kiwi Kwan was in the TVA. Oh my goodness. Just made my eye water so bad. So I'm probably gonna have eyeliner everywhere. I thought this was pretty cool. I would have liked to have done something like that. So neato. I don't have many of. I do have a more better quality and longer Rocket Raccoon experience, but I don't think that's all that necessary. Now, one of the other announcements we got was from, I'm sure, the highly anticipated Snow White movie.
There's another movie we do not need.
Can
so
we talk?
Did they replace all? Yeah, did they replace all the dwarf or the not dwarf actors with CGI?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
And kind of shame on them, because there are little people actors in Hollywood, as we are all painfully well aware. Warwick Davis has kept the Star Wars IP alive for
pretty much
5 decades now. And, Willow, but there are many out of work little people actors because they keep doing shit like this. They keep replacing them with CGI, and it's rude. Peter Dinklage called it out, and good for him. Like, he could be kind of a stuck-up turd any other day of the week, but good for him for pointing that out, because that's an issue for me.
Is your body leaking, Danny?
It is. My eye is just... I think it's a little better now. But can we all talk about the absolute hilarity hilarity,
ludicrousity.
ludicrosity. That's a new word that
Yes,
is a
it
thing
is.
now. The ludicrosity that we have Gal Gadot looking into a mirror and say, "Show me the fairest of them all," and they show them Rachel Ziegler. Listen, I am here to tell you, as a woman, and I need to remove this so you can see me clearly. I'm here to tell you, as a woman, Gal Gadot is 15 times hotter than Rachel Ziegler, and no one is going to believe that a magic mirror thinks that Rachel Ziegler is hotter than Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Nowhere. Why
So
did
weird.
you? I just
Maybe the mirror's a little less superficial. Maybe it's talking
About the inside.
the inside beauty.
Yeah, Danny.
my ass.
As I look up Rachel Ziegler.
And that's she's the chick from Songbirds and Snakes.
That one that was just up there? Oh.
Yeah, that was her. Duh. With the Prince Farquaad, Lord Farquaad haircut.
Yes.
She's supposed to be prettier than Gal Gadot. It's just, I'm sorry, it's not believable.
She's like the Costco version of Gal Gadot.
She is. I just really, and I've been seeing this new trend of people will share a post about the Snow White thing showing Gal Gadot as the evil queen, which she looks phenomenal, by the way. She looks just like the evil queen. And sharing that, and then share a picture with Regina from Once Upon a Time and Charlize Theron as the evil queen, and say he'll never beat them. Well, no, she's playing a different character. So first of all, she's playing a different character. Second of all, what's the big deal? She's working a job, bro. She's working a job. Just let her work a job. But apparently it's a big issue because Gal Gadot is from Israel and she is a woman of Jewish descent. And so that's why they're mad about it, because of the issues in Gaza. But that's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's not like Gal Gadot went up to Israel to the prime minister and it was like, I need you to invade Gaza because Gal Gadot said so. Peace. And then walked out.
She's called out Israel.
Yeah.
On a number of occasions.
Yeah. But they don't care.
She's on record for it.
It's all stupid. Like I said, it's all stupid. Let people work. Okay. This is how they pay their bills. They're normal people for some of the part. Some of them, a small few, are normal, but they're all humans as far as I can tell.
Sure, the show. We'll get into that on another show.
That's another. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Jesse.
Jesse's in the house.
You're cracking again. Are you getting any of my messages?
Yeah. I'm going to go out and then come back in.
Maybe come back in?
That'll
okay.
Help. Yeah.
Okay.
God, I'm going to do that myself. No,
haha, we got rid of him. They should have hired me for the evil queen. I'm just saying.
You're too sweet. Too sweet.
I'm going to tell Dave you said that, and he's going to call you a liar. He's going to say, you're going to hell for that one. Sorry. No, Ro sent me a screen cap of Tabitha's chibi evil queen, and he was like, I'm noticing something here. And he says it looked like my eye makeup. So I sent him a picture of me doing this. And I said, now you can do wait a damn minute with her chibi. So there's that. I really hope I'm not watering everywhere because this took like an hour. So, okay, he's back. Everyone pretend like we weren't talking about him. Act natural. Was that natural?
I like Ro on mute because
you
can actually hear me for once.
Yeah, no, we can't hear you. No.
I know.
Oh, you stop it. Stop
Maybe people would know my name, Ro, if I got to talk, if I got a word in edgewise sometimes.
Maybe they would know your name if you showed up in the chat more often.
I am. I'm just the Red 5 Tavern. I don't have my own name. I
I'm
don't know how
talking
this.
about in the only chat that matters, the Red 5 group chat.
Whatever. I'm Matt. I'm Mark.
You say
Yes, Matt.
whatever. So
Mark, Bill. I'm just
Bill.
Brad.
My
I'm
Little
just
Pony.
Brad, and that's not bad.
Tap that Manny.
Okay, so Star Wars. Dun 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 dun. Let me see if I can
What's
find
that?
the right stuff. Oh.
Acolyte 2, Season 2, announced at D23.
Oh no.
I hate to break it to
quiet.
you, season 2 lovers of Acolyte. It's not going to happen.
No, the numbers were just too bad. You can't justify that. I mean,
Yeah.
notice what we were just talking about. There were no new announcements other than Incredibles 3 and possibly Toy Story 5. But I think that's the one that they had actually talked about before D23. But there were really no new announcements. They're throttling back because they're losing money left and right over putting out stuff that just really isn't that good. We're literally not buying it anymore. So there's that. I'm trying to find my Andor thing, and
I'm definitely Silent Bob for the record, subtle. Because he's way superior to Jay.
that is facts. That is absolutely facts. Okay, here we go. Here's some stuff.
Star Wars stuff.
Yes, here's some Star Wars stuff.
Let's check
It's
it
really
out.
loud in my earbuds, man. Like super, super loud. So they came out with the they actually did like a presentation with Ewan McGregor for Skeleton Crew. And he was no, not Ewan McGregor. That's
Jude Law.
absolutely wrong. Jude Law. Why did I say Ewan McGregor for
I was
Jude
getting
Law?
excited. I was looking it up. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, that's my bad. Totally.
What's
so
in
no,
that what's in that tumbler of yours?
it's actually beer with tahini.
Oh my god. You are
Lay off
so
the spice. Lay off the spice.
You are so Mexican.
I am, but not in any way that actually counts that people believe. So they actually did this whole thing with Jude Law for Skeleton Crew. And I don't have it now. So I'm trying to keep it really low. Here's our Skeleton Crew footage that I can legally show. And first of all, and this is kind of controversial, that looks like a suburb in Missouri to me.
Yeah.
It's a very Midwestern suburban looking area. And a lot of people are
they're mowing the lawn here, just like when they were.
To me, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Counter Earth.
Yeah.
Dang it. You put a camera on me and suddenly I know nothing, Jon Snow. Yeah, this does look a lot like Counter Earth, but look at the roads. They've got like this like
railing
track.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
maybe it's San Francisco.
A trolley. Like a trolley, yeah. Maybe. But they've got like this very suburban looking neighborhood, and a lot of people are complaining about it, saying that
it's Orange County.
Probably that's probably where they filmed it. It was cheaper. But people are saying it's taking them out of it because it's too much. It's too similar to reality. The whole thing about Star Wars is it's supposed to be fantasy. It's supposed to be in space. But then you have other people saying that, well, it's a very, very big galaxy. And people could live a whole multitude of different ways in this very big galaxy.
This is the suburban planet.
This is the suburbia. It's suburbia.
You know, it's funny. the Star Wars, the list is getting longer. So bricks, screws, zippers, suburbs.
Roads. What the shit is this?
We don't need roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. But
Lawnmowers.
Star Wars Meg told me, because I haven't read a whole lot of Legends. If I've gotten into Legends, it's Mandalorian history, because I will eat that shit up. It's because it's so good. It reads like actual cultural history. It's so good. Anyway, don't get off that tangent, Danny. She told me that in Legends, the New Republic, their generals, their commanders, their senators were paid fairly well, and they lived pretty comfortable lives in suburbs very similar to this. So according to Meg, this is Legends canon. This totally lines up with Legends. Now, I will remind everyone, if you've been watching the channel for a while, then you know that when I was out in Burbank over a year ago, and they were in production for this, and they did film this in California. They were in production for this. The crew was not impressed. Absolutely not impressed. The crew was like, when asked about it, we asked like, hey, what are you working on right now? He says a show kind of for kids called Skeleton Crew. We're like, oh, well, and how's that? And he was like, Dave Filoni was seen on set throwing chairs, pissed off, throwing a fit, yelling about George Lucas. Angry with George Lucas, saying George doesn't even know his own stuff anymore. Like he doesn't know the lore for his own stuff anymore. I have to tell him, like, this is burned into my brain, because this dude, God bless him, he was super cool, but he thought I was like in the special effects industry, like legit. And so he's like running his mouth about all this stuff, and I'm like pulling out my notepad. And then what happened?
What was that in reference to? Because that's not usually his tone.
And I know he's fed up. Like over a year ago, Filoni and Favreau were just exhausted with the direction that Star Wars was going, and how the suits were constantly inserting themselves and
What's that got to do with George?
Messing up with their flow. I don't know. I don't have all the details on that specific conversation. All I know is that Filoni was pissed off, something to do with George. Like, oh, I think it had something to do with like Kennedy, KK, best friend of the channel, Kathleen Kennedy, wanting to like loop George in. Like, well, why don't we just ask George? Like, if this is such a problem, why don't we just ask George? And he's like, George doesn't even know his own shit anymore. Like, he was so exacerbated.
Weird. It almost sounds out of character, because he studied under George, and from what the public is seeing about Kathleen Kennedy, you would think that it was the opposite of who said what. You know what I mean?
don't think it's so much that he's angry at George, like really, really angry at George. I think it's he knows what we know. George is done. He's retired. Let the man retire. He sold it to Disney because he's tired. He's old. He wants to spend time with his kids and his grandkids. Leave him alone. He did a thing. He loved it while he did it. He's moved on. He doesn't really care that much about lore. To him, everything is fan fiction outside the original trilogy. That's what George Lucas thinks. If you really want to know, the rest of it's just lipstick and rouge to him. He doesn't really care. And you've got people like the higher ups at Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy who are constantly coming in, diarrhea personified, always disturbing their shit. And eventually tempers get high. Listen, for you in the chat, this is an incredibly high pressure industry. And there are no normal hours. You don't work an 8-hour day and go home. This is 20-hour days, and you might get to go home and see your family. But as soon as you walk in the door, there may be an issue and you have to go back and fix it. This is a 24/7 job, very long hours, and there is a lot of money on the line. And that comes down to people like Dave Filoni. If money doesn't get made on certain projects, that comes down to his responsibility. Extremely high stress and high pressure. I don't care how nice someone is, they have a breaking point. Everyone has a breaking point. And I'm just assuming that the production of Skeleton Crew was Dave Filoni's breaking point, because he lost his shit on set. And when this person told this to me and my friend was very surprised, because he's worked with him as well. He was like, what? And he's like, yeah. Like, he threw a chair. Like, he's really pissed off. So I have not had high hopes for Skeleton Crew, but I will say that this trailer does look intriguing. I do like the Goonies vibe.
I don't really mind the space suburbs, and
I don't either.
I don't know if it's my sensibilities kind of calming down, especially after an episode that we did, Brad and I, about are we too hard on Star Wars? But I don't mind the space suburbs, and I think the space suburbs is really only going to be a very, very small portion of this story, because the rest of the stuff looks very Star Warsy. I mean, you got the ships, you got the backgrounds, the environments. So yeah, I don't know.
I would say it's there for juxtaposition. I think. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be there just to look as plain and normal as possible, because then they go on this grand adventure or whatever. And I think you're right. I think it's only going to be there for probably that amount of time that it was in the trailer. I don't think it's going to be a big part of the show.
I can see both sides of the argument. Like, it doesn't bother me that much. The Acolyte bothered me. The Acolyte bothered me in a big way. Space suburbs does not bother me as much as the Acolyte, but I can see how and why it could bother other people, and they're entitled to their feelings and their opinion of that. I mean, all of this is subjective anyway, so I get it. But I do think the whole Goonies vibe was there. I'll just turn it back on. I mean, we get a kid with his tablet, and he's definitely obsessed with Jedis. I mean, we got a Jedi fighting this giant monster in what looks like woods or a cave, maybe. So that's pretty neat. I do like that there's all these aliens. Like, this kid looks like they were getting into a garage. Looks like a little Max Rebo baby. He's precious. His name is Neil with 2 E's. And then we got the Cyclops kid with the Geordie LaForge visor.
Yes.
Lots of explosions. See, and that's super Goonies right there.
An actual skeleton.
An actual skeleton covered in spider webs in a ship. So Goonies. Nice shot. It looks beautiful. My complaints lately for Star Wars, we've got another super cool alien, but my complaints for Star Wars lately have absolutely not been the production quality or the production design. Even the Acolyte. The Acolyte looked and smelled like Star Wars.
Sure.
I have smell-o-vision. It's true. But
is that why you don't answer my texts?
I don't answer your texts because I have notifications off always, because my phone goes off entirely too much, and I would go absolutely insane. Yes, it's way better. So I do love that we finally get some more aliens. Production value is still on point. Star Wars always is. And I love those guys. I love all the guys who work on the production crew. They are some super cool people. They are some huge nerds. Let me tell you something. No one loves Star Wars more than the production crew. I can almost guarantee that, because these people have been building Star Wars for a million years. So love the. I mean, that's pretty cool. I want to see more aliens. That's kind of been a complaint I've heard a lot. More aliens. So I'm glad to see there's more aliens in this. But look at that. This little guy looks like the Hootie Owl from Clash of the Titans. Oh, okay. So I can't remember the alien species names, but as Ro pointed out, Star Wars made totally actually me. I was like, this is kind of pants shittingly terrifying for a children's show. Like, it's a show directed for kids, and we've got like 80s level scary monster. And then she's like, actually, he was in the cantina. I'm like, well, he could be all in the cantina all day, every day, but this is a kid's show. Why does he make me want to poop my pants? But he's pretty cool. I gotta admit, he comes out blasted. But some of the cinematography is really great. The camera work, there's some really great shots. A kid gets to use a turret, like that's a dream. And then, of course, we see a key floating, and surprise, 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 we've got yet another survivor of Order 66.
I was commenting on someone else's post earlier today, and I feel like he's actually not going to be an actual Jedi. I think he's going to be a trickster, just like that other trickster in the Kenobi series. And I think he's going to roll out and he's kind of like a con man, but then he realizes that he's got bigger fish to fry in the mission of getting these kids back home, and that's where he kind of starts to soften up. Because I think otherwise, if he were an actual Jedi, he can't be gallivanting across the galaxy, because there are still Inquisitors out there looking for him.
Well, can we appreciate Loki Jarson's comment when I said another Jedi that survived Order 66? He's like, who's not helping Luke? Yeah. That's so very Star Wars that the main character of Star Wars is like, nobody gives a shit about him. Like,
what year is this one set?
This is taking place during the Mandalorian. So 15 ABY ish, 1520 ABY.
Well, that's quite a few years after Order 66.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's like 35 years after. I mean, yeah, I guess it could have been.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jude Law just looks fine for his age. So,
yeah, I don't think he's an actual Jedi though.
Start placing your bets now, Nerdling Army. Rose says it. I'm kind of looking forward to see Jude Law in it though, because he is a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
So that was Skeleton Crew coming out December 3rd, and then we got a couple shots from Mandalorian Grogu. I was only able to get one, and it's a doozy. It's a doozy.
Somehow the Razor Crest returned.
That's what I said. Somehow the Razor Crest returned. So he has a new Razor Crest, and who is piloting it? But Zeb Aurelios, and we have Daddy Din Djarin and Baby Din Grogu in the baby seats, while Zeb Aurelios is piloting. First of all, super here for any of the rebels, any of the Ghost crew.
Can we with Grogu? Can we find an airlock and push him out?
No, we can't. No, we can't. Because I don't give a shit what you say. I love Grogu.
Is he talking? His ass better be talking by now.
Okay, that is my one, like...
Dude's 50 years old and he's not...
Okay, so that is one of my... Okay, so Brahm on Twitter thinks it's Zeb. I think you're right, too, because Zeb is piloting it.
And he just happened to acquire another type of that ship.
So Yoda was 900 years old when he died.
Let's do some math here.
Let's do some math. I'm not very good. I'm not very good at math, but I'm just thinking that if he's still a baby who can't talk and can barely walk on his own at 50 years old, Yoda should have lived a lot longer.
Yoda's only 14 in Yoda years.
Right. Like
he was a teenager when he died.
Come on, people. Like I'm not allowed to spend money in my house because I'm so bad at math. Okay. And yet I could figure that out.
Like I know they did it for that one episode because it's a 50-year-old, so you're expecting somebody older, and then it ends up being a little baby. So I get why they did it, but they somehow should have aged him quicker or developed him, matured him quicker. It just doesn't make any sense at this point.
Yeah. And we don't have to kill off Ro, Megan. We don't have to kill him off. We just have to tie him to a chair and attach a car battery to his huevos. And eventually we will convince him that Grogu is cute as fuck. And he stays. The Grogu stays. You hated Babu Frick too, didn't you?
Yeah.
You bastard.
Star Wars is too cute, damn it.
PJ Ro. It's fine. Huevos.
Rancheros.
Okay. So that's all I got from Mando the movie, Mandalorian and Grogu, which is a stupid movie title. Can we all agree?
That's so bad. I was hoping that was like a working title, and that was not the real thing.
I hope it's still a working title. Are there two of you, Red 5 Taverns?
He stole my account. I mean, I did steal it back from him.
Sir Charles.
It was mine first, and then he stole it because I gave it to him. Yeah, but that's him. That's not. I can't type that fast.
I was just. Neither can I. Rose pointed that out on many an occasion. You type flow. Well, I have lady nails. Anyway, Charles, I was just talking about you. Subtle told me he thought I was Canadian. I was like, oh my God. Thank you. But I'm actually an honorary Canadian, and it was handed to me by Sir Charles. So there's that. I love Putin and puppers. Anyway, that's all I got from The Mandalorian and Grogu, which we all agree. Stupid movie title, very cumbersome. But then I got a lot of great shots in Andor Season 2. I was going to show the whole trailer, but I couldn't find it. I was going to make sure that the volume was completely down. But it wasn't really a trailer. It was more like a sizzle reel. Because we got Tony Gilroy talking about how much he loves this season and how now it's getting close. Okay, I really
let me ask you this, guys, because there is a definite disconnect between the quality of Andor and the quality of the rest of the shows,
of literally everything else.
Like, what is going on? And I, being in the production world, I mean, I understand there's different creatives and different people behind the scenes, but can somebody like at least spell check the other shows and then have the Andor people do everything? Hey, I mean, what the heck?
You know who's never directed anything of Andor? Bryce Dallas Howard. I'm wondering if that's a coincidence.
Keep her away.
I think maybe
the power of Christ compels you.
I think the story group maybe stays away from them. I mean, like I feel like the story group sucks ass these days.
I think Tony Gilroy is like, listen, I will straight own you. I will destroy you, your family, and everything else if you come near my show. Because look in this man's eyes.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He is serious. And he spent a good chunk of this teaser reel, the sizzle reel, talking about now the stakes are higher. The stakes are higher for these characters. You thought season 1 had some, heat to it. Season 2, the stakes are higher. We're getting close to the events of Rogue One. There's a time jump in this season. So I love Tony Gilroy. I love his integrity. I love that he plants his feet. And he says, you shall not pass. So good for Tony Gilroy. Good for him for having that integrity and saying, I don't care how much you pay me. If you want me, here are my rules. Here's what I expect, or I'm out.
And we get Alan Tudyk back, and we get Ben Mendelsohn back.
I know.
I do believe we're getting Alan Tudyk back because let's keep watching.
Oh, definitely got him back.
There's Mon Mothma, Diego Luna, Stellan Skarsgård, some dead stormtroopers, hot dog. Idiots need to learn how to fire. We've got Saw Gerrera in season 2. There he is.
With Tutu.
And
Director Krennic.
Ben Mendelsohn. Director Krennic is back. Yeah. And
if he's working with the ISB lady, that's going to be pretty lit.
Mm-hmm. So now we've got
with a capital L.
K2, and we see K2 in the cockpit. So we've got this, and we see K2 in the cockpit with Andor. So we do have Alan Tudyk, which this kind of makes me sad. This makes me really sad and pisses me off because I don't know if you guys know this. My friend Details was actually originally cast as K2SO. He was the original actor cast to play him. And they'd even built his hero suit and everything. Like they built it. They were ready to go. He had all the lines, everything. He was a main cast member. And then they were like, okay, so we've decided to go a different direction. We've hired Alan Tudyk. So now he's like,
show I was on. That was the show I was with you on. I knew I was on a show before with you. That was the one. So I have done multiple shows.
Wait a minute. I think you've earned your 5 timers jacket.
I don't know.
So cool. Brad got his 5 timer jacket. I need to get it retailored with a new logo, but next is, of course,
take it out a little bit. It's a little tight around the middle.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. We that's too much for me. But anywho, he was originally cast as K2SO, and I did a whole interview. The very first interview I ever did was with D. So check that out on the channel. Details. He talks about this. They tell him they're going a different direction, and they hire Alan Tudyk to play K2SO, but they give D the role of Cone, K-OHN, and he's this droid that believes in the spirit and the soul, and so he is doing things to try and improve himself, to enlighten himself. It's so weird because I guess Jedha's kind of a spiritual planet. It's a religious destination sort of thing. So I guess it would make sense that there would be a somewhat religious droid, but it makes me sad because D would have gotten more work and more like leading man screen time had they not hired Alan Tudyk. But at the same time, and D even says this himself, he's like, at the same time, it's Alan Tudyk. How do you get butthurt because it's Alan Tudyk and he's going to kill it and you get to work with him and stuff. And so he did. He absolutely did. He literally did. I love Alan. He did a wonderful job with that
blooper, by the way, when he slaps Diego, like that is about the funniest shit ever because that was completely improv, and the fact that they kept that in the movie and you can see Diego smiling under his hand is amazing.
Classic.
My goal in life as a podcaster is to get Alan Tudyk at some point. And then like, you stole someone's job. How do you feel about that? Shove the mic to his face, but I got a new mic and it came with this new thing and doesn't work right. Fun! It's fun having. Moving on.
Now Danny's correct.
Okay, where'd you go? You still there, bro? Brad? Is it me? Is it me? Is it me?
It's you.
You're running at 3 pixels by 4 pixels.
Hey, Spectrum. Spectrum. This is for Spectrum.
It's gonna be stuck up there for a while too. It's great.
Yeah.
Good. Because have you seen the picture of my internet cable? Woven through a tree. Through, in and around, wrapped around a tree.
No, wow.
For 2 years, and you guys know this, for 2 years I have nothing but internet problems.
Sure.
And you're telling me the 12 times you buttholes have come out here, you missed that someone wove an internet cable from the pole through a mimosa tree. Like, this is 100 feet from my house. This is at the pole. You jerks. And I posted about it on the Twitter box and they DM'd me. They're like, we're going to get on this right away. I've not heard from anybody. Nobody's called me and said they're going to come out and fix this shit. Dave's like, I'm just going to go cut the tree down. This is every single time the wind blows, my internet messes up. So thank you, Spectrum. So fun. Okay. So this is Ryan Reynolds introducing Papa Feige.
Lightsabers and capes and maybe spandex. Pro tip: baby powder is your friend. On a serious note, I wanted to take a moment on behalf of Sean and Hugh and myself, and really the whole Deadpool and Wolverine team to say thank you so much for going to see our film. I mean it when I say that it's hard to process everything that's happened these past few weeks. Overwhelmed doesn't even cover it, but thank you for the most amazing welcome into the MCU that a guy could ever ask for. And a very special thank you to Kevin Feige for letting us make just a few little teensy jokes at Marvel's expense. It's my way of showing love. And of course, saving the studio. Anyway, D23, and without further ado, I'm just thrilled. I'm gonna introduce the original Marvel Jesus himself, Mr. Kevin Feige. Come on up, Kev.
So
here's the witches you wanted, Brad.
Yeah,
yep.
There's the witches you asked for. I can't actually play the Witches Road song. Because they will come for me and smack me down. They've locked my Twitter 6 times this week. 6 times. So I don't want to lose another merch store. But it was pretty good. Catherine Hahn's got a decent voice, and I thought this was a pretty neat presentation. But I just love her. I really do. I just love her. That was all the Star Wars stuff. So no announcements, nothing new for Star Wars at all.
No,
just reveals.
And then the last day was the animation panel. There's no Star Wars animation announcements. No.
Well, we got the Lego thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We get Darth Jar Jar, which is kind of cool. But then we've got friggin' Mark Hamill coming back as Luke Skywalker, and it's basically them doubling down on what happened in the sequel trilogy. Like, they kind of poke fun at it, but they're doubling down on Luke's behavior in the sequel trilogy. So that just honestly makes me lose all hope for Mark Hamill as a human being. Like, really? Stop it. He was like the first person to complain about what they did to Luke when the first movie came out. He was the first one. And now he's like, wait, no. Totally makes sense.
Money talks.
Yeah. Yeah. That big bag of Marvel cash, as Deadpool would say. That really, that big bag of Lucasfilm cash certainly changed his mind for him. But this is the Agatha All Along cast presentation. I thought it was pretty dope. And we've got Audrey Plaza. I'm a huge fan of Audrey Plaza. Huge fan. She's absolutely hilarious. She's a great actress. She's a great dramatic actress. But she's actually totally obsessed with witches. And she wrote a children's book called The Christmas Witch because she loved witches so much. So she's very excited to play this role. So I hope that means, and from what I've seen in the trailer, you know, she seems pretty into it, and that always translates to final product. So fingers crossed on that, because Marvel hasn't exactly been putting out bangers, if you will.
This is one project that I'm least looking forward to.
I'm aware, but it doesn't look terrible. From what I can see so far, it looks like, at least in the very beginning, they are continuing the theme from WandaVision, where in WandaVision, it was Agatha stuck in this hex of her own making that was having her live her life through her favorite sitcoms. So it looks like this is Agatha's favorite TV shows like CSI or Law and Order or stuff like that. And there's some very, you know, of course we get say it's very CSI, but it looks like we rehash a lot of the WandaVision stuff. And we get this library card. There's no name there. And then it kind of bleeds into the card Wanda Maximoff on October 13th, which is on a Friday. And all of these dates are actually important. I believe that WandaVision episodes came out on some of them and their birth dates for others. But October 13th is a Friday, and there's an episode that's airing on that date. So, but here are the witches in Agatha's Coven. And can we all just stop pretending? Because they keep referring to this boy as Teen. They keep calling him Teen in the cast and everything they're talking about. This is Billy Kaplan. This is Wiccan. This is Wanda Maximoff's son. We know that. Can we all just stop collectively pretending as a species that we don't know who this is? Stop just calling him Teen. We all know. We all know who it is, Marvel. Just knock it off. It's totally Billy Kaplan. So we got some great shots. Like, that looks super cool. This is them entering the Witch's Road, which did Patti LuPone. Patti LuPone's been very vocal. But the Witch's Road is something that Agatha does with Wanda. Wanda goes down the Witch's Road to get her power back and make peace with her biological mother's spirit. So I'm wondering if they're incorporating a lot of that. But she looks a lot more comic accurate. That's her in WandaVision, herself in WandaVision. I think the body on the table might be Wanda. I think they go down the Witch's Road to go get Wanda to bring her back to life. I think that's what's happening. We got Audrey Plaza, who is playing Rio Vidal, a brand new character for the series, who is a quote-unquote green witch, a new concept even. Earth Witch. Seems to have a familiar, the spider on her left shoulder. But that's her first appearance. She like crawls out of the ground. And she's also Agatha's ex. So of course we had to throw that in, which I don't understand. I don't understand the obsession with the sex lives of fictional characters. I don't understand that. I think that's super weird.
Ratings.
Do a lot of people care about that?
I don't know. I think a lot of new audiences do. it's a way to.
I think
to-
Raylo proved that.
Yeah, Raylo. But I think
God.
younger audiences are starving for connection and identity, and something that us older audiences really didn't care about. We didn't, at least for me, I didn't really need to see a Mexican character up there to be able to enjoy a movie. There were other things that I connected with that character, so to me it's odd.
Right, I can see both sides in the representation thing, because I did grow up totally looking very different from everyone else around me, and not seeing anyone like me in movies and TV. So I can get that, but also I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it. There were aspects of personalities and stuff that I related to, more depth. But I'm really loving Brown Squadron and Skywalker Academy's comments. It was comics and all along. It was Danny all along. Might have to change when the show comes out. May have to change my name on Twitter to that, because it's dope. I love it. Thank you. Okay, but I'm getting, it's obviously a very, very, very Wizard of Oz feel in this episode. I'm guessing that's one of the themes that influences Agatha. So we have Catherine Hahn here as the Wicked Witch of the West. And then it goes on and we see Patti LuPone very obviously dressed like Glinda the Good Witch with Catherine Hahn in the background. This is very, what was that? Exorcist? Her up on the ceiling. Very Exorcist. Very scary stuff. And then they come to this kind of 70s house and everyone's in very disco attire. They fly on brooms. Then there's running. There's a lock of hair in this locket. No idea what that's about. Joe Locke is Billy Kaplan in like a situation there.
When does this come out?
This comes out right around our birthdays. Right around our birthdays. In this scene, Catherine Hahn is screaming, "I want my prize." She made it down the road. I want my prize. So I am betting dollars to donuts that prize is bringing back Wanda Maximoff. And we got Rio Vidal walking from this house, looking very menacing, while explosions are coming out the front door. And a demon. Then we've got Captain America Brave New World, Anthony Mackie said, take that back a little, because he said he put this back together himself on his iPad. So apparently while he was on the plane.
With iMovie.
Yeah, which is annoying to use, and you can't. So this is Harrison Ford talking about the Celestial that rose up out of the ocean, and they harvested adamantium out of it. So adamantium is finally canon in the main continuity of the MCU. I just don't care about this that much. But then we have Giancarlo Esposito as the leader of the Serpent Society. And Giancarlo is a pretty amazing actor.
Is he overused these days though? Because I'm saying that because he's the exact same character in every single thing that he's in.
He kind of is. I think he's overused as villains, and I think he feels that way.
But I'm okay with him. I think I like this overuse more than a Pedro Pascal overuse, because I think Pedro is that kind of actor that, I mean, he's been in everything, and he's going to be in more stuff, but it's like I'm tired of seeing him already.
You would say that because you're a straight man.
Okay.
I would watch Pedro Pascal read the phone book.
That's true. Okay, I can give you that. I can give you that.
Box set.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to this Captain America movie because it seems like it has kind of similar vibes to the other Captain America movie, which is probably one of the best MCU movies out there. Winter Soldier. It's got like that political, drama feel to it. And I think it'll be kind of intriguing, especially with the actors involved. You've got Harrison Ford coming in as Ross, and I think I feel like I'm gonna like Ross's portrayal of Ross more than, or Ford's portrayal of Ross more than what's his name? I know rest in peace, William Hurt. Yeah.
Brad, what were you gonna say?
Nah. I didn't realize he was. I didn't realize he was Ross. Yeah, I mean, you can't replicate what William Hurt brought to it. But I don't know. Is he? I thought he was the president. Did Ross make president now?
Yeah. Ross is the president now. Damn, Subtle. StreamYards came for you.
He checked you. They checked you.
They did. What the piss?
Piss is not a swear word. Streamlabs. It's
Tabitha,
a biological function.
It's funny. Way worse than that. It's funny, but Tabitha and I actually have debates on what constitutes a swear is not. You would think that I would be more liberal with that. No. It's Tabitha. She said whore once. And I was like, Tabitha said a swear. She's like, that's not a swear. Like, yes, that is.
That's fine.
Anywho, yeah, I think Giancarlo Esposito is a wonderful actor.
I do.
I would love to see him.
Agree with Brad though, that he plays the same role.
He pretty much does.
Yeah.
But he's so good at it, and that's why he keeps getting those roles. He's such a good villain. But he himself, he wanted to play Professor X because he wanted to play a good guy. He wanted to play a hero. But we all thought he was playing George Washington Bridge in this, but he's not. He's playing the leader of the Serpent Society. So that's a weird one to pick. Like, guess what? He's playing Sidewinder. And everyone was like, wait, who is that? Oh, Serpent Society? Okay, fine. Okay, Marvel, fine, I think. White House getting destroyed by the Red Hulk. New Captain America and new Falcon. Look, I was trying to hit the volume. And it clicked the wrong thing. Oh, snap. Sir Charles got it too.
Oh boy.
Well, according to Streamlab, this is a swear.
Yeah, that was definitely Charles that did that. It was definitely not me that typed that.
And this is great. We got Han Solo himself hulking out.
Looks like him too.
It does. And
Except red.
I just want to thank whoever worked on this for the chest hair. Because grown women dig that. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So it does look like Harrison. And God love him. He's like, what, 81?
Yeah.
He's been working out for sure.
81 years old. He's still acting, still working, and people are still asking him stupid ass questions, thinking he's actually going to answer. They're like, what universe are you a part of? Is it 616? He's like, that's a stupid question. But thank you for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how come
so
Scarif
funny.
doesn't get in trouble for saying piss? That's twice.
I know.
Because I don't think you have Streamlabs. I use Streamlabs to like thank people for subscribing and stuff like that. It's an AI bot. No, they're not kicking people out though, Nicole. Only you can do that, I think. I think.
Well, I guess it is subtle.
It totally is ass's foul language. Okay. So then we got the coolest reveal was, well, no, not this. We're just going to skip this because nobody gives two shits about Thunderbolts at all. Like nobody cares about Thunderbolts.
Forgot about it.
Yeah, everyone forgot about Thunderbolts.
It was a cool comic back in the day.
Yeah,
it was like 20 something years ago though.
Yeah, but they with the asterisk, it's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Why is there an asterisk?
So we don't know. So now we have Daredevil Born Again, and that was the second one of the last ones they did. We have White Tiger, and apparently there's gonna be 3 White Tigers, 1 male, 2 female White Tigers. Of course, Charlie Cox is back as Matt Murdock. I think that's White Tiger, if I'm not mistaken. That right there is Yusuf Khan, Kamala Khan's father from Miss Marvel. He's adorable. So Vincent D'Onofrio. I'm thinking Yusuf.
Can I just say Vincent looks damn good. I think he lost like 25 pounds.
Well, and they had put him in a fat suit also for Hawkeye.
But he was pretty big though. Regularly. Yeah.
He looks amazing. And Vincent D'Onofrio is a cool dude. He really is. Very, very deep, poetic soul.
Yeah.
But he looks amazing. He's very excited about this show. So very excited to see that. And then we got John Barenthal back as Punisher. Everyone's excited about that. More Matt Murdock. So everyone was talking about him wearing the yellow suit in She-Hulk. Well, apparently he has the whole wardrobe he can choose from. So we have all the different Daredevil suits in Matt Murdock's closet. Beautiful walk-in closet. Jealous. So we got White Tiger. Foggy and Karen are back. I'm placing bets on whether or not they kill him off. Because in the actual comic Born Again, Karen dies from a heroin overdose. She becomes a heroin addict and dies from a heroin overdose. So I'm very curious about that. But to see oh shoot, what was his name in Mighty Ducks? Ferguson, wasn't it? Ferguson? Meh. He was one of the Bash brothers in Mighty Ducks, so glad to see him back. And Deborah Ann Wall from True Blood. And then this character I've just learned about. This is Muse. And a subscriber told me that Muse didn't come out until 2016. And he's a serial killer who uses his victim's blood to paint his creations. And Daredevil has trouble getting him because Muse's inhuman ability, he's an inhuman, his ability is to like absorb sound and stuff. Like he can absorb whatever Daredevil puts out. He absorbs things around him. So Daredevil can't see him.
Like what if Daredevil farts and it makes a sound? Does he absorb that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Muse sounds like a
Silent
really cool
but deadly,
character.
you know?
So dang it. I wasn't prepared. You have to like give me a signal. Okay, so oh no. Say it again, Brad. Say it again.
Silent but deadly.
It was so
weak.
low.
That was weak.
Okay.
I said silent but deadly.
Wait, is it not playing? Oh,
there you go.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to like edit that audio because that's a
Who's
problem.
running this channel? Damn it!
Just me. That's the problem.
Used to be so fancy.
Shut up, Brad. You know what? Hold on real quick. While we have Matt Murdock and Kingpin sitting at a diner, Brown Squadron's got a really, really amazing question. How does Daredevil know what color suit he's putting on? Does he ever mismatch pieces? That's a great question. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, he runs his fingers down the fabric, and as we all know, different colors have different sounds when you run your fingers down the fabric. What was
different colors and different textures?
Yeah, you guys never read a comic book before? Jeez.
Someone contact Stephen S. tonight. He wrote the note. And this is another thing. So when they announced they were doing this series, they kept saying, oh no, we're not doing a direct sequel. We're not going to be connected at all to the Netflix series. And Stephen S. tonight was like, yeah, because they don't want to pay me. Like they can't use anything from that series because they have to pay me. And so more things started coming out that was making it look like, yeah, this is connected. This is connected. This is connected. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, okay, so it is a sequel to this. And we're bringing back the original Vanessa and everyone. And we're like, are you going to pay Stephen S. tonight or what? Because that's kind of dirty, Disney. It's a shitty move. But yeah, that's a really great question. And I will at Stephen S. tonight because I gotta know. We've got the Daredevil suit. We don't know how he chose that one. Is it by smell? And we've got Yusuf again. And Yusuf is asking him, what kind of lawyer are you? And then Mac Murdock says, a really good one. Like, he said it. That's a No Way Home reference. So that was it for Daredevil Born Again. And the last announcement Marvel had was Ironheart. And this is probably the one Marvel project I could really give two shits about. I really don't care.
And we kind of thought that this was quietly canceled, didn't we?
Yeah, we really did. We thought it was canceled. They did reshoots in your neighborhood.
And it's funny because I there was one time, I mean, they stopped shooting early because of the strike.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't see any shooting permits for the show unless they changed for some reason. Sometimes production companies will change the name of the project, almost like a Blue Harvest Return of the Jedi thing. But
you're doing it again. Yeah, it's. I've said many times I would not be surprised if they canceled this entirely because there's been so many problems and they've basically had to reshoot the whole thing. So
I'll watch it because I'll watch it because it's Chicago and it's some of the neighborhoods that I am familiar with. I was in Wicker Park when they were shooting a lot of the stuff in that neighborhood, so that'll be kind of pretty fun to watch.
Can you two steer for 2 seconds?
Sure.
All right, I'll be right back.
Hey, Ro, did you notice the 20th anniversary of the Dave Matthews Band bus in Chicago the other day?
God. Yeah.
Were people talking about that?
Yeah, I poured a bucket of poop for myself to celebrate.
R. Kelly's doo-doo butter.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you're still choppy as hell, by the way. You should leave and come back, and I'll just do the show myself.
Sure.
I'll now be taking questions from the chat all by myself. Ask me anything you want. It's late night with Brad. With comics and Brad. It's not too awkward.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh man, I had the show for 1 second by myself. I changed the name to Comics and Brad. So that's just.
Where'd Ro go?
Why do I love Star Trek? Well, oh, you guys are back. I can't answer any more questions. Sorry. Oh, next time.
Yeah, I'm really just there's not enough interest for me in Ironheart. I'll watch it because I hear Mephisto shows up, like he makes a deal with that kid, this kid right here who plays the Hood. But other than that, I really just don't have an interest. It wasn't a really great comic to begin with. It was they just I don't know. If
I could interject here.
Yeah, please.
The family's great. Patrick Kane, and Walmart. And that's all I got.
What?
I have all the questions in the chat. Everybody cares about me.
You missed one.
What? The Star Trek one? Yeah, on purpose.
Jesse knows that I call Star Trek the other white meat.
I thought you called me that.
I mean, that's really all there was.
Be careful, Loki.
Disney. Does anyone hear a guitar? Not anymore, but I heard like someone was tapping
Strumming?
guitar strings.
No.
Weird. Wasn't me, I promise. Star Trek is its own thing, okay? And it's awesome, Brad. Just saying.
Okay.
Just his. Need you to get on board. Okay?
I don't knock other people's interest. So if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
There was it again. It's you. Stop touching your mic.
Oh yeah.
There's no guitar strings here.
Okay, well, I think you're hitting the springs that's holding your mic.
Yes, he is. Yes.
No,
There it is. That's it. That's it. Anyway, D23 was kind of a letdown this year.
Very much so.
Yeah.
At least they're consistent.
I guess.
Well, I mean, normally they put up like the timeline and everything, and whatever they don't announce at SDCC Comic-Con, they announce it at D23. And the main thing we were missing from Marvel this year was X-Men.
Oh, and didn't they announce that they're working on another What If series and it'll be the last one?
Yeah, but we knew that What If was coming. We knew there was a third What If season. We knew that stuff. There was nothing new announced at all.
I feel like the last 2 or 3 years has been like Disney, Marvel and Star Wars kind of cleaning house, if you will, almost working and getting these projects done so they can start on whatever next phase that they're doing. I think after Andor next year, we might get some interesting announcements. I don't doubt that we'll get some very surprising announcements when Star Wars Celebration goes to Japan. I think that's a little far into the future where they might, get all their ducks in a row to make some announcements that have nothing to do with anything that we know already. Because, like you said, I think everything at D23 was stuff that we already knew.
Mm-hmm. And I think it has a lot to do with, their shows and movies not performing well since Endgame. And that goes for Star Wars too. Things just were not performing like they should have, like they have in the past. So they did say they were going to be throttling back some. So maybe that has something to do with that. But I mean, if they don't come up with something new in the next couple of years, what's the point? You're just going to shrivel and die. Then you'll have nothing else to put out there.
Do you think they could have put anything out for the Rey movie?
Yeah,
there's still no script.
That's another thing. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because guess who was completely absent from the Star Wars panel? Best friend of the channel. She was not there. There was no Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, they fired her 7 years ago, so
yeah. Out of the cannon, straight at another movie. They had her there for the Legends ceremony, which Harrison Ford was inducted next to Miley Cyrus. So, such an honor. Han Solo next to Hannah Montana. Totally makes sense. 100%. But she was there for the ceremony in the audience, but she was absolutely not on stage for the Star Wars panel, which is unusual since she became president of Lucasfilm. Normally, they put up a timeline at either Comic-Con or D23 for Star Wars and Marvel.
I just don't think they have a timeline for Star Wars. I think they're waiting for all of these projects to kind of run their course, and then they can kind of go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I think they have swept everything off the desk, and they're like, we fucked up. Let's see how this plays out and go from there. And since Deadpool and Wolverine has just absolutely saved theaters across America, at least for the summer, I think it's got them rethinking a lot of things. So I believe personally that oh, that's funny. Was it an admission of failure? Sheba wishes. I believe they had stuff lined up that they were going to announce. They believe they had timelines. And after recent events, they've been like, no, throw that all out. We're going to go over this again, look at some numbers, crunch them, if you will, and see if we could actually come up with a creative solution. So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
There's no timeline. They have no idea there's no creative direction anymore.
No. And apparently Ro needs a beer. I thought you were making a cocktail. So, my bad.
I finished it.
Yeah, I bring 3 beers to every live stream just in case. And we ran long because there was a lot of stuff. Okay. And I talk a lot and I don't mean to. And I have no wrangler.
And I'm surprised you've only taken 1 bathroom break.
How did you know? Anywho, the lash has gone wonky since my eye kept watering. But anyway, I think they've thrown a lot out the window. There's no timeline. There's no creativity. There's no original thought anymore. They're just rebooting and sequeling literally everything because nobody's been like, how about we grab one of these EU books? Let's just grab this book. Oh, what is this? Thrawn Legacy? Oh, who's this character? Mara Jade. She sounds like a pistol. How about we try that? Nothing. I don't get it. But I don't work there, so. Okay.
Ever since What's His Face took over the story group, stuff has sucked significantly worse. What's his name?
Filoni?
No, the one that does all the
Favreau? I think that's what
the one that does all the story group stuff, that does all the editing and all the fact checking and all. Pablo
Hidalgo.
You know what? I think that the story group is not what people think it is anymore. I
don't think it exists anymore.
Yeah, I don't think Pablo even does story group stuff anymore. And I think that group has been defunct. I think half of them have dissolved and gone to other jobs. I think half of them followed Ryan Johnson to that Netflix gig.
Well, for Acolyte, they were talking about referring to Pablo for all these things.
Well, maybe
the director was talking about
years ago.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we run everything through Pablo.
If I was Pablo, I would go full Talladega Nights on that. But don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
He posted, he called out Wikipedia because they had an article on him saying that he was this and that, and he had to come out and say, I'm not this and that. So please correct it.
Wikipedia, man, they are not having a good year.
No, they're so stupid what they did.
Just not having a good year. Like, guys, you've made some bad decisions. I think it's time to reflect. It's time to reflect. God love you. As we say down here, bless your 11 hearts. Bless your little pointed head. God bless you. God bless you. Just silly. Poor Jordan. Ugh, I feel for that kid. Feel for him. Years of his life just gone. He was a nice kid. He's an absolutely nice kid.
Absolutely.
Listen to me. Yeah. He's probably in his 30s.
Right.
And I'm like, he's a nice kid.
He was on the Scare of Scuttlebutt about 10 months ago.
Yeah, he was on
he was everywhere. He was a good ambassador to that online publication, and they screwed it all up.
He really was. He was out there making friends for Wikipedia. He convinced me to become an editor for Wikipedia. I did the naughty section about the naughties, not naughty, the NOTI from Ahsoka, because they're adorable. And I love adorable, goofy Star Wars characters, because I was 3 or 4 years old when Return of the Jedi came out and we got Ewoks. So
they were fierce warriors, damn it.
They are an adorable huggers. They give furry, warm, fuzzy hugs. And I wanted one as a sibling, but I got a brother instead, and I'm still disappointed. Still disappointed. He knows that though. But now I have an Ewok son. So it's okay.
That's true.
I adopt Tiny. He came from Endor. His biological parents were killed in the Battle of Endor by a walker. And we took him home and gave him lots of love. So that's how that works. Okay. We're a galaxy. Okay. We come together as a galaxy. So there's that. Cute little murder bears. Absolutely.
Well, D23 was definitely an upset. Not a lot of announcements, just a lot of hot air. And I don't know. Final thoughts, Brad?
Yeah, final thoughts.
What you said. There was, I don't know. Andor. There's my final thought. Andor.
Yeah, that's the only thing really that I'm looking forward to.
Me too.
Andor,
Any final
Andor
questions
season
or thoughts in the chat? We are gonna wrap this up. This is the longest stream I've had in a while because usually you guys know how this goes.
See?
I gotta be. I'm middle-aged and I have a bunch of kids. So everyone feels sorry for me. D23 let fans down worse than Brad let down his prom date.
Fast and Furious.
Ah!
Where's the drum?
Oh, damn. You have to warn me because this was something I told StreamYard.
If I speak, have it ready to go, Danny. If I speak, have it ready.
There you go.
Okay.
Just thanks for coming on by. Sleep tight. You and your 10 hours sleep.
What? Thank you to everyone who came by. I'm pretty sure that's what I was trying to say. Oh, Penny, Danny, when and what time is your surgery? So, oh, I have the best subscribers. Penny, you're the best. I'm having surgery at like 1 o'clock Central Standard Time on the 22nd. So that's when it's happening. I should be nice and loopy. I'm super surprised that it's outpatient. And I live an hour away from the hospital, so that's going to be not a fun car ride home. Like, not at all. I'm pretty sure Dave's going to have to, like, slide me in the back seat because I won't be able to bend my knee. Where else am I going to go? And I only have one leg. And the one leg that I have is being taken apart. So, and I am not a skinny woman. Okay, everyone pray for Dave. Everyone pray for Dave and his back and his hernia. He doesn't just, God, please pray for Dave. Pray for Dave and his guts. Because that's not going to be easy. Oh. Brad, bro, where can the people find you if you haven't been off-putting enough for them to do so?
I'm just Brad.
I'm just Brad, and that's not bad. Okay, sorry. Gotta get it out of my system. Rosef.
Just look for us wherever you find your other favorite podcasts. Tell your smart speaker to play the latest Scare of Scuttlebutt podcast, part of the Red 5 Network. Look for the rest of the shenanigan gangs over at bio.link/Red5. That's
us.
Do you read that or do you have that in your head?
It's in my head. And if you want to give us a call, give us a call on the Scare of Scuttlebutt hotline. That's 773-234-8659. That is all. Brad, what you got? Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting it's not our show.
Comics and that's the Scuttlebutt.
There you go. Nice.
That's amazing. We are members of the Red 5 Network, as Ro was saying. You can find us at red5.bio.link. We do look good in red, and guess what? We are the pods you've been looking for. If you cannot find a podcast to spark any interest that you have whatsoever, you're boring.
Then you're dead. Yes.
You're boring. That's just facts. If you'd like to support the channel, I've got some new amazing ways to do that. And you can, I'm dying over here, by the way. Sorry. That's a bonus just for you guys because I love you. You can find all the awesome ways to support the channel at comicsand.squarespace.com, including our merch stores at Etsy and Redbubble. By the way, these are all in the description below. And our newest and greatest, sponsored by Apotheosis Comics and Lounge off South Grand in St. Louis, Missouri, the greatest neighborhood and city in the entirety of planet Earth. But if you can't make it to South Grand in St. Louis, then I highly encourage you to go to shop apotheosis.com/comics. And and pick up all your comics need using the code comics and for a pretty sweet discount. But if you are not able to do any of those things and you would like to scan the QR code over hovering next to the lovely Brad, you may do so. You can tip us as little or as much as you like. And you can also check out our Patreon. There are 3 different tiers starting as little as $3 a month. And you get free merch every 3 months, behind the scenes, outtakes, ask me anything, and requests. And it's also just a super fun and excellent way to support the channel. But you know what the best way to support the channel is? It's also the easiest and happens to be the freest. And that is by hitting that like button, the subscribe, and ringing that notification bell to let our algorithm overlords know that you want to see more of my nerdy, juicy content. But until then, nerds, I've been Danny. He's been Brad over there, and he's been Ro. You've been awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, nerds, make sure to check out your beds tonight because
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.